familiar with a very useful platform for data science problems and practicing. So Kaggle comes with its own flavors of doing things, but for example, it will give you a sufficient amount of GPU runtime as well. It will give you a complete environment in which you can complete your ML practices project, or basically any other data science project as well. And now you must be knowing that I hope that you have gone through the guidelines document. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in the guidelines document, according to guidelines documents, you will have around 14 weeks to complete this project, and registrations will close by 30th of September. So I think you have a week or so to register in this project. So what explain you the process of completing this entire project. Give me a minute. I'll open the document. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, great. So I'll just go through this document once, and if you have any questions, you can ask at the end of it. So duration of the project, the start date is 12 September, and the end date for the project is going to be 18th of December 2022. Uh, you will get 14 weeks to complete your project till the deadline. Now there are some rules that you should create your Kaggle account with your POD ID. How should you set up your team name? How the evaluation is going to happen. So evaluation is a very important. I'll come to that part. Of course, any student found to be copying or cheating, copying material from peers or any other online source, as it is it's not an acceptable practice. Libraries which are allowed are these are the list of libraries that you can use inside your Kaggle notebook. One important thing to mention over here is Kaggle, since it's a data science competition platform, it allows various machine learning libraries, for example, PyTorch, TensorFlow, Keras, and so on and so forth. However, we have restricted to these set of libraries because these are what you will get familiar with yourself in this course. So you're supposed to solve the problem using only these libraries or any simple pandas, of course, Python libraries, the default Python libraries, for example, operating system module, regex module, and so on and so forth. You can use them freely, but no other machine learning library. And once you complete your project, you'll have to register for Viva, which is open after every revolution cycle. I'll come to that part also. So here is a very important formula how your final grade will be computed. So your final score will be 30% of the marks you will receive for crossing the cutoff score, which will be shared with you shortly. 15% of your score will come from the rank in the Kaggle competition. 50% of your score will come from your Viva performance. So this is how your entire score is broken. There are three components. So the project, so first two components actually they comprise of 50% marks. So they are solely based on your project performance, whether you've crossed evaluation metric or not, and what is your rank on the leaderboard. And the next 50% is coming from Viva. Here, Kaggle competition link is provided, the scoreboard, the leaderboard as well, the registration form, and there is a very important distinction between Kaggle username, Kaggle ID, and Kaggle display name. So please make sure that you put your Kaggle username while filling this form. Many students make this mistake that they fill either display name or Kaggle ID, which is actually, I'll zoom in and show you. You can see this account user ID 2086. So this 2086 is referred to as Kaggle ID in Kaggle website. Make sure you don't put this. Uh, Make sure that you put this username, which is Kaggle username.
So question here, the Kaggle is not allowing the username to start with number. So I guess we have to use IITM as a prefix or a suffix to get around that issues.
Right, right. See, okay, got your point. So there will be one more thing which will be coming is team name. So team name has to be a roll number, but your username can be something else.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, sir. Can you
So
bit explain about
yes.
team name and username?
Right, of course. Okay, give me one moment. I'll open my account.
And sir, please explain also like how can we start? I'm very new with this Kaggle.
Mhm. I see. So see, team name, you can, okay, that information is also down below. Once you join a competition, then only your team, you have the option of setting your team name. Have you joined it already?
No, sir, I have not understood like how to start it.
So first, okay, so you have never worked on Kaggle, you never logged in, is it?
No, I have logged in, but have not started any competition like before.
Right, right. So I'll show you how to, work on a competition. So this session is about that, how to start with Kaggle. So how to create your first notebook, how to read inputs, how to read training set and test set, and make your model, make simple predictions, and how to make a submission to the competition. So all these things will be covered over here. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
sure. Okay. So the problem type for this September term is actually a classification problem. I will go over the problem as well. So let me just open it.
So one logistic question. So that means our notebook name has to be constant. So one notebook will have everything, right? From raw data, pre-processing, model, everything in one notebook.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
consider this that when you're sitting in front of a Viva examiner and taking exam, he'll be asking you questions. He can ask you questions from the beginning, starting phases of the machine learning project, which is data cleaning, data pre-processing. Then he can move on to choosing models. Then how did you do cross validation, and so on and so forth. How did you do feature engineering? And what was the best model you chose and how did you choose it? So all of these questions he can ask, right? So make sure that your notebook looks like a final, as if you're appearing in an exam. It is complete. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
We can edit it anytime, like after submission or before Viva.
Till the deadline, you can edit it n number of times, as many times as you want. Just make sure that you know this. There is a limit of 5 submissions per day. So you can edit it thousands of times per day, but you can submit your, make submissions only 5 times a day. So which will be used to, yeah, I see people have started to work. That's great. So which will be used for finding your position on the leaderboard.
So submission is like saving it. Like once we update it, we should be submitted in order to get it saved, or how is it?
No, it's slightly different. So I'll come to that part also. Okay.
So, mean we can submit it more than one time also.
Yes, of course. So when you're saying that you want to submit your predictions, okay. So I'll tell you this. First thing, you'll create a notebook. You write entire code in there. Okay. And I think in this data here, you'll find that these things are provided to you. Train.csv, test.csv, submission.csv. Train.csv will have labeled samples. Okay. I think you can see their examples here also. What is in there? There it is. There are some attributes, for example, offer expiration, income range, and so on. Sorry, I did not hear that. Somebody was talking. Okay, let me go back. So all these things will be available to you and accessible to you in a Kaggle notebook. You'll write code to read these files, then make a submission, and based on that submission, how accurate it is, your leaderboard position will be determined. Okay, so everybody can see how they are doing, whether they stand among the group of their peers. And this is the actual experience that we want you to have. That's why we chose Kaggle as a platform for hosting our Kaggle machine learning projects. Now coming back to data, right? So okay, I'll give you a complete demonstration. There will be one part for that. So before doing that, I just want to finish the guidelines document first. Okay. All right. So this is the link for joining the competition. Now this is the registration form. Project problem time. So typically you will either have regression or classification. This time we have chosen classification. Now these are the steps. How would you make a submission on Kaggle? Create a Kaggle notebook. The code to read and load the data will be already present in the notebook. Write your code and produce the submission.csv file. Contain the predictions for the template, the test samples, correct? From your dashboard, go to code, your work, choose the notebook and choose the version number. Choose the, and then submit to the competition. Now here are a bunch of miles. Yes.
Sir, I did not get this.
Don't worry, I'm just reading it out. Please keep in mind that whenever you have any doubt that how to make a submission, you can come back to this paragraph or this section. I'll show you one live example how to make a submission.
Okay.
Then comes to milestones and activities. So there will be some number of milestones. I think first one is, so these milestones belong to different phases of machine learning project. First one comes in is data loading and pre-processing. So you load the data, explore it, you decide what type of pre-processing has to be used. You can also use feature engineering in this part. Second milestone is building a baseline model, which is fantastically easy if you go with the dummy baseline models. But again, you can go with a logistic regression or something more powerful than dummy regression. Next one is then after you have made your baseline model, you want to try the different models which are available in machine learning library, which is SQL, KNN, SVM models, and then tune your hyperparameters as well. Next milestone is, now that you have done experimentation with KNN, SVM models, and your baseline models, you would like to experiment with different other models which are available: CART, decision trees, bagging and boosting, and tune the hyperparameters of these models as well. The next milestone is repeat the ML end-to-end process. So now if you are up to milestone number 4, that means you have done significant amount of work. Now at milestone 5, you are actually improving or fine-tuning your work. Okay, so this may, after up to milestone 4, you might get some insights into the data, and based on that, you either want to go back to your initial stage of data pre-processing, feature engineering. Then starting from there, you want to go till hyperparameter tuning, and maybe choose the models which are more suitable for your data. And repeat this process as many number of times as you would like, till you want to improve the score of your score. And the last milestone is basically submitting the project, which happens automatically at the deadline. And also, okay, so I'll come to that part also. So submitting the project can happen before the so there are two parts for submitting a project. One, are you ready for the Viva? And second, have you completed your work on this data set? So for the second part, you can keep doing or improving your ML model till the deadline. No, so there is no worry about that. For submitting the project to appear in Viva, for that you have certain number of revaluation cycles. Right. So this form is
Hello, sir.
yes.
So
Yes.
one question from the milestone part.
Right. Go ahead.
Suppose after 30th September deadline, can I change? Can I edit my code in the data loading and pre-processing step?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
30th September milestone is for data loading and pre-processing. So
Correct.
after 30th September, can I change that part of code, like data loading and pre-processing?
Okay. Okay. So keep this point in mind that say for example, milestone 1 is following these milestones is completely voluntary. There are no marks assigned to it, and you don't have the mandate to follow all of these milestones. You can choose at your own convenience with how you want to proceed with these milestones. Do you want to complete data loading and data pre-processing earlier or later based on the time that you have available? Okay. However, we strongly suggest that if you follow these milestones, you will be making steady progress. Okay. And of course, once you have said, so this is just a marker, an indication from your side that you have completed this milestone. So we can use this data and suggest you and ping you if anybody is lagging, or suggest some materials and things like that. So of course, if you choose that you have completed data loading and pre-processing, that means you have gone through it at least once. Maybe later you want to improve it. That is absolutely fine. Yes, you can change your code later as well. Does that answer your question?
Sir, one question.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
So one question regarding milestone 3. In that, it's written that we have to apply KNN and SVM model. So for milestone 3, we are not supposed to apply any other models.
Well, again, this is suggested way of doing things. If you want to apply other models as well, please go ahead and complete them. Okay. Since it's a classification problem, you can definitely use logistic regression. You can also use naive Bayes. Names are not here, but yes, you can do that.
Okay, sir. And another thing, sir. So are we supposed to submit only one model, or can we submit like a what's it, like a combination of models?
When you say combination of models, what do you mean?
I mean like a assembly line kind of things, like where we take the average of all the models and we take the majority voting of 2-3 models and we then get a prediction.
Of course, bagging and boosting. You're talking about bagging, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
talking
Yes,
about
sir.
majority, right? Of course, you can do that. So these techniques, of course, your models can be meta models as well. Yes, you can do that. So see, milestone number 4, which has bagging and boosting, which is ensemble methods basically, right? Ensemble methods is you are creating a bunch of models and using keeping them together and using some logic, maybe majority voting or taking average or something, some other mechanism. You are making the predictions. This is called ensemble methods, and of course you can use that.
Okay, sir.
So this is again suggested way to work if you have, if you're very curious, if you want to do a lot of experimentations with your project, you want to learn more and more. The more amount of time you spend on it, the better it is. And of course, you can work with in other orders also. But it's suggested that you do not lag behind this, because what will happen is, um, if a student does not make steady progress and waits till the end of the deadline, then it might become very, very difficult for that student to make best use out of this project, learn maximum out of this project, or get most out of this experience, and do create a good project. So that's why it's suggested that you dedicate time for this project, steadily.
Sir,
Yes.
so deadline for a degree student is, I think, different. So this
Yes,
milestone.
absolutely. So let me talk about that. So one important thing about degree students is that if they have completed ML practices project in Viva and basic other projects in Viva examinations as well, uh, before September term, then they are all set. They don't have to worry about anything. However, if any project and Viva examination is remaining, that means they have to finish it before, I think, 31st October or 15th November. One of those two dates should be the final one. But for that, you have to contact support.
Okay.
Okay. So let me stress this again. So imagine that that deadline comes out to be 31st October. It could be something else also. But for now, for the discussion now, imagine that it is 31st October. Then any remaining projects and any remaining Viva examinations you have to complete by 31st October. Okay. For those students who are already enrolled in degree level courses. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, now let's come to the Viva part. And before Viva part, I'll tell you the process of registering for Viva and how we are going to evaluate your notebooks. So at the beginning of the this document, there is instruction of sharing your notebook with us, which is over here, right? So in Kaggle, you have freedom of creating as many number of notebooks as you like, tens or hundreds. However, there will be only one notebook or one set of code that is going to be finally submitted to us. So make sure that you, at the beginning of this project, you should create a Kaggle notebook in your Kaggle account and share the name of that notebook with us while registering for the project. And do not change the name of this notebook during the project run. Okay. Initially, this notebook will be completely empty, and that is fine because you have just started it. However, with time, you'll do many experimentations with your model, with your data, and will keep increasing your score. Whenever, let's say, you got a score of 0.7 at some point of time, and that is the best at that time, then you copy the code of your best model, which is producing 0.7 score, put it into the Kaggle notebook that you have shared with us. This will make sure that your final work is shared with us, okay, and we can verify before you sit in the Viva. So for this verification process, you have to share your Kaggle notebook and the code that you are using to submit, to get your score. Now the question arises: how would I do experimentation with my models? Right. So you keep this one fair notebook with you. Always keep your best model there. Now imagine a situation that you are working on another model and you tune the hyperparameters and somehow you got a score of 0.75. Now this is the better version, right? So what you would want to do is you should copy this model which is producing better score 0.75 and put that model into the notebook that you have shared with us. So always make sure the best model that you have, the best model that you have trained is in the notebook that you have shared with us. And you can create as many copy of this notebook for experimentation purpose or for other models. So So basically, one notebook for fair work and the rest of the notebooks for your experimentation. I hope this point is clear, and it is very, very important.
Can you tell about how to create the notebook in that specific marking strategy? I mean that project itself, because I am creating the notebook, but it is coming out of that only.
You are creating a notebook, but it's coming out of that. Okay, give me one moment. I'll come to that.
Okay.
I'll show you how to create a notebook.
And sir, how the score will be evaluated? I mean, will do we have to store the score in a special variable, like any special variable name, or like how the things will work?
So basically, you're asking how should I make a submission? How my submission will be scored? Something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how my score will come to the leaderboard in some particular rank.
Right, sure.
So
Let's come to
how
that.
that is determined.
Okay, sure. Let's come to that. Give me one moment. I'm opening the account.
Or may I ask another question?
Sure. Go ahead.
So in the document, we can see there is this part of team name. So I couldn't find that in the Kaggle notebook. So can you please tell us something about that?
Right. So you will be allowed to set your team name once you join a competition. So once you join the competition, inside that you will get to choose what should be the display name of your team. So Kaggle typically allows you to create teams. You can create teams of 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, or something like that. But since this is an academic project, only one person will be allowed to complete the project.
So technically, this is like a name that will be shown on the leaderboard, right?
Absolutely, yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I have a
Balaji, do you?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Let me take this query, and after that, can you show them how to make their first Kaggle submission?
Yeah, sure, man. Please.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I have a query that are we allowed to set any random state for our project? Because sometimes we have found that if you are not setting it for multiple time of runs, like when test split and other things are get changed. So whatever the result we have got, maybe when you are evaluating, that may differ marginally. So are we allowed to set a like random state or something like that?
Absolutely, yes, you can set that.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, this is Srinivas, sir.
Yes, Srinivas.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, this is regarding just now I joined, sir. I don't know now what you have said. But one thing is that there, in the event document, one Google group we have given one Google group where we have to mention the Kaggle notebook, shared notebook to admin, like that. One option is there, sir. I do not know what is that one. So I have given some randomly my ID number followed by MLP _ project, like that I have given, sir. Is that the expected one?
Sorry, Srinivas, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Your voice is breaking.
Now is that fine, sir? No.
It is still breaking, Srinivas. Can I suggest you to write your question in the chat box?
So the question is that when we registered in the Google form, we had to give the name of a notebook. What I have done is I've given my, the email ID, the 21F1. I think the person who was speaking has also done just something like that only. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're asking what name should I provide in the Kaggle notebook field in the form, is it?
Correct.
No, I believe the name has already been provided and it has been provided wrongly. Now he wants to change it or something.
No, not to change it, but we've given, for example, our email ID, the reference, the student ID number as the name of the Kaggle notebook. Is that okay? Is the question.
That is absolutely fine as long as you have actually a Kaggle notebook with the same name. That is absolutely fine.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right.
I think the form is also editable, so I think you can edit it.
I don't think it wasn't allowing me to edit it. So one question, I have submitted the form and I can see the competition, but it just shows 2 teams. Even though I'm able to add a team, I'm not clear whether my ID has been registered for it or not. So how do we validate that?
What you want to make sure that there's only one person in the team, is it?
No. I have registered for this, in this semester, and I filled out the form. When I go to this marketing strategy personalized offer, it only shows me 2 teams. So
The leaderboard, you mean?
In the leaderboard, is it?
Not just in the leaderboard. If you look at there is a bar right on top, above the overview data and all. It just shows 2 teams there. So how do I know if I've actually been registered for it or not?
If you can access the data and if you can open new notebook, it means you registered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Excuse me,
okay,
sir.
so before we take any further questions, let's have a demonstration of how to make your first Kaggle submissions, and that will clarify a lot of things for you. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Yes, Aisha. Aisha, can we take this question after the demonstration of Kaggle notebook submission? Hello. Hello.
Please go ahead. I don't think she's on mute.
Okay. Yes, Balaji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi guys, myself Balaji. Hope you can see my screen. Is everyone see my screen?
No, sir, no.
Yes.
Please start from the beginning.
Start. Yeah.
Yes, Balaji, it is visible.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. So many people might know already about the Kaggle, and some of them might not aware about what it is Kaggle at all. Okay. So I will give some a brief overview of what Kaggle it is. Then what is your role in that one? So how do you access the data set, and how do you, for example, you have a lot of queries related to the Kaggle itself, right? So we will try to solve each one by one. Okay. So first, what is Kaggle actually? It is a platform which any organization or even individual can conduct computation to enhance the knowledge in particular sector. Okay, so for example, Google wants to improve particular algorithm, and probably they put the data set and they tell her, okay, whoever solves and get better at it, and they'll get this much money price or something like that. Okay, and it is recognized by all the big companies. Okay, so for example, in Kaggle, if you keep on work on Kaggle different data set and different computation, you will get different batches. Okay, so novice, beginner, expert, grandmaster, something like that. Okay, so the how much time you put it in this platform, you will get different batches accordingly, and those batches can be recognized all over the industry. So if you say that I am a Kaggle grandmaster in notebook, everyone know that. Many people at least in the farm companies, they are aware of that one. Okay, what do you say that one? So so it's worth investing that one. And also most of the time, for example, you study ML, DL, and linear algebra, statistics, everything from theoretical perspective, and here you get a chance to apply your theoretical knowledge through computation. Okay, so right now we are going to show only one computation. You don't stop there, you keep on registering different computation, improve your skill set. Okay, so in that you can see others notebook also. For example, you register in computation, and you can see others what they've done, how they build a model, and why they're in first place. Okay, and what are the different approaches, what are the innovative approaches they played around to achieve that place. So you can see from other community, and you can learn also. Okay, so especially the feature engineering, right? The feature engineering, it's in the theoretical setup, it's only some set of standard, some 15 to 20 methods. But if you start thinking creatively, you can go for million approaches. Okay, so people do that in Kaggle especially, figure out different way to do feature engineering and different way to extract feature. and they build a wonderful model. Okay, so you can learn from that one. Okay, and they give a lot of experience. And apart from that, there is something called data set also, which is for example, if you know that something called Google search data set, it contains all open source data set in the internet. Okay, similarly the Kaggle also, you can many people upload a data set, and simply you can download and use it for different purpose also. You can use it, probably you can solve the problem also. For example, you find that some data set is very interesting, can I solve it? But there is no monetary value or anything behind that. It's only for your homework assignment kind of things. Okay, so these are the basic things of Kaggle. So what we are going to do with the Kaggle is we are going to connect a computation. Okay, and the computation, so every term we connect one computation. This time also we are connecting computation related to marketing strategy, personalized offer. Some of the people might have gone through the description, right? Okay, before going to the computation, any doubt till now? Any doubt? Shall I proceed further? Yes.
No, sir. Can you start from the beginning, from making accounts in Kaggle?
Making account in the Kaggle. Okay. Okay, already made account.
So
Okay.
I think that's like making account with any website. Yeah,
Sign in with
like
your
opening a Gmail
Google
account.
credentials, right?
So how it works is, okay, I will probably use my another email ID to log in. How it works is, so this computation is not open to everyone. Only people with the link can register. For example, we will share the link with you. Okay, or only with the people with the link, they can see this computation page and they can register here. Okay, and how if you have already account, still don't use your own personal email account. You might have one email ID which is given by IIT Madras, right? So use the same account. So usually it's something called the OAuth tool only. So what they do is you log in with the Gmail. So if you see many application, you will log in. You log in directly with the Gmail application. It will be linked along with the one. Okay, this is called something called OAuth tool. Okay, it will be the tokenized way, the integrated one. Same thing, you just log in with using your Gmail account. Okay, so for example, if you are assume that your name is Swarnam at onlinedegree.iim.ac.in, if your Gmail is already logged in, okay, the moment you, I will open that also.
Hello sir, can I ask one question?
Yes, please.
Sir, I
Please.
have a Kaggle account with my personal Gmail ID. So do I have to create another account with IITM ID?
Yes, please. Yeah, yes. Don't use your personal account. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. So it will be easy for us to. So for example, there is possible that some of the link might be shared outside also, and we want to filter those people. We don't want them to have it also. So if it is not belong to IIT Madras, so probably we'll thinking that it's from outside people, we'll filter it out. Okay. So I logged out.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Please, yeah.
Sir, I'm much familiar with the Jupyter notebook, so can I do everything in there and then just import that notebook in the Kaggle? Is that fine?
Yes, you can do that, but so I will talk about that part. But you should not take only the result. You should bring the code also. Okay, for example, you build everything in your local or probably in GP or something or collab, whatever you can build, but you have to bring everything in Kaggle and should rebuild it. Okay, it's possible that you might do big hyperparameter tuning and require a lot of computing resources. You might do it in different places, but you bring the best result, right? You bring the best result and put it in the Kaggle and run it one more time. Okay, so I think Swarna might have explained, we should not upload the CSV file directly. We should submit through Kaggle notebook only.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that part you make sure that remaining part is fine. Yeah. Okay, for example, I logged out from this one. The moment I give sign in, it will ask sign in with Google, right? I click sign in with the Google. So I have 4 options: sign in with Facebook and everything. So since I already my account is signed in, it directly took everything from there. That's all. It's very simple. Okay, but you come from the link. Okay, we give the link to you. You use the link, and from that, then only you'll come to the computation directly. Okay. For example, our computation right now is marketing strategy, personalized offer. Okay. Shall we go to computation? Any more doubt?
We shouldn't put our POD ID in our username, right? There is no constraint on username, but only on the team name, right?
So the team comprises of only one person. That it's already communicated, right? So there is no change in that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah.
can you please repeat that?
There is no team concept, right? Everyone has to be everyone has to work separately. Am I right?
Yes, yes. So you will be only single person in every team. So in Kaggle actually typically allows to form teams for priced competitions. That is okay, but since it's an academic evaluation, only one person per team will be allowed. That is, you have to participate individually.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is there is this option, there is this called the username which is asking, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
is there any constraints that we have to follow while we are creating a username?
Okay.
From the IoT perspective.
No, I think you can create the username as you feel. There is no certain pattern to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any pattern in the notebook, Sarnam? Do we need to create a notebook with some name in pattern?
No, that is also not required, but some sensible name would be much better, because by the default, when you create a new notebook, it gives you a notebook, and after that there's a big hash code. It is better if it has some human readable name, but that is suggested also. If you keep that as long as you make sure that the name of the notebook that you have shared with us, it doesn't change during the competition, and at the end your final work is also in the same notebook, then it is fine. There is no certain pattern that you have to follow.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. Yeah.
So can I use? Yes, sir. Can I use roll number as the team name and notebook name?
Yeah, please.
Of course you can do that.
Please, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like Sonam said, there is no constraint on username and as well as notebook name. You can use whatever name you want, but make sure that you give unique name. That way, it will be easy for us to search. Also, it will be easy for you to track it also. For example, we create so many notebooks. Keep easy for you to track also.
Roll number will roll number will automatically unique.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks.
Any other question?
I do not understand the POD name constraint. What is it about?
Swarnam?
Hello, am I audible?
Swarnam,
Yes,
yeah, please ask your question to her. Yeah.
Yes.
What is the POD name constraint? I'm not understanding.
POD name constraint. The only constraint is that you should log in with your POD email ID in Kaggle for this competition.
A POD email ID means a student email ID, right?
Yes, student email.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, guys. Okay, so now we'll come to the competition. Okay, so this is a this is a scenario. Assume that it's imagine scenario. Okay, and we collected the it's a survey data. It's not that the actual data collection happened for particular things. It's a imaginary scenario. We collected for survey data. So what survey data we do is assume that you're a driver. Okay, and we want to understand the preference for what kind of offer you accept in dining or takeaway. Okay, assume that is some researcher from IIT Madras, either MS or PhD fellow, and he created different scenario. For example, you are driving from Gindi to Tambaram, and you found nice. You came to know that there is a nice discount in Adayar Anandabhavan restaurant at 12 o'clock. Okay, will you avail this offer? If you go, if you face this kind of scenario, you are going at around 12 o'clock. Some people might avail, some people might not avail. Okay, some people think, okay, this is very hot climate, I don't want the offer. Some people might go for it. Okay, so like that, the researcher gave different scenario to different people, and they asked, will you avail this offer or not? Okay, and along with that information, they took some basic information about the user also. For example, if in my case, okay, Balaji, and I'm working here, so and doing these are things, this is my age and qualification, those kind of information, right? Demographic information. Okay. So you got the problem statement. So at the end of the day, using that information, we need to build a model which predict whether the particular user will avail the offer or not. So basically, it is a what problem? Regression or classification problem?
Classification.
Yes, that's classification. Yeah, classification.
Binary classification.
Exactly, it's a binary classification problem, right? So this is a description which I explained here, and description here, and so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You might see 7 tab. You don't see the host one. Only I can see the tab, because since I'm the one who's myself and Swarnam organizing this competition. Only we can see this one. Okay, but you see all other tab in your competition page whenever you register for it. Okay, the description will contain all the information about the problem statement. And next one is the evaluation metric. Okay, so you already established that this is a binary classification problem. Okay, what evaluation metric we will use to check whether your model is good or not? Okay, so we will use here the mean F1 score. Okay, and here also submission format. For example, here we give two data set. One is training and test data set. You might know what are they, right? So you build a model using training data set, and you do prediction for test data set. Okay, we don't use label for that one. Only we are aware of that label. Okay, you do prediction for test data set, but you submit in this format. For example, there might be around 1000 test data set. You will, for each data set, you put ID number and corresponding label, whether he will avail the offer or not. Yes, he will avail the offer. No, he won't avail the offer or not. Okay, you submit like that. Okay, so this is the submission format. Okay, and next it goes to data. Okay, so there are 3 data sets here.
Question. So what do you mean by mean? You will get one F1 score. So are you going to take averages over all submissions?
Yeah. So that's true. So the multi-class classification problem means it mean makes sense. The binary class that doesn't make sense. This evaluation metric, it comes with a I can choose only from set of metrics. I choose one like that one.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So
Both
in this case, just a regular harmonic
F1.
mean of precision and recall is basically going to be used. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So next one is data set. Okay. So here you will see 3 data set. One is train, test, and sample submission format. Okay. The train data set, you can see for example, if you click the data set here, train, you can see some small descriptive information about each and every column in top. Okay, which is generated by Kaggle itself, and each column, right? So it contains around 31 columns. Okay, 31 columns along with including the label one. Okay, similarly go for test data set. So it contains 30 columns except the label. The label you are not aware of that one. So label contain around, the total number of rows for test data set is around, the small description might be available here. Details. Okay, it's around 5,000 something, I guess. Okay, yeah, this is test data set and the sample CSV. Okay, so you can download this one. This is the format it should look like. For example, if you want to, you build a model and you want to submit your solution, so for each row of test data set, you will give the corresponding ID and the corresponding label here. Okay, this is completely random here. Okay, so just only the submission format. You don't infer anything from this file. Okay, only just submission format, how it should look like. So you should maintain that your column name should be same ID. Sorry.
Yeah, what is the sample CSV actually? I'm not getting it.
Yeah. So you the train data. You use the train data to build the model, right? And you will use the test data and to do the prediction. Okay. Now next step is you need to submit the prediction to the Kaggle platform. Then only we or Kaggle platform itself evaluate your score, how good your model it is, right? So you don't need to submit the model. You just need to submit the result, right? What result you submit? This is the submission, the file, only the output. You just give the ID number and the corresponding label. Okay, you understand? So you don't submit the model.
This is 0 ID is the label of the data point.
Exactly. Yes. No. 0 is the ID number. The label is no.
Okay.
So we have to make this in Excel or something. This
I'll come to that part. How do you want to make this one? I'll come to that one. It's CSV file is fine. Yeah, CSV file is fine.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
The test. So the final score that will be determined. That will be the comparison between test dataset and sample.csv, right?
No. The sample. That's why I'm saying you. The sample CSV file only to show the format, nothing else. For example, if you see the sample CSV file, the number of false is 100%. Okay, everything I say I put false and true is 0. Okay, it's not going to compare your model output and the model output and the sample JS file. For example, if you know the actual label itself, there is no point of building the model, right? So we definitely hide the model label while you building the model. Okay, at the end of the probably at the end of computation, you might aware of the label. Okay, till the time you can't see the test data label.
It's a format of the answer.
Exactly, it's only just the format. Okay, how do you want, how should you submit? For example, if you submit only offer accepted as one column, you don't accept it. You should have 2 columns, and column name should be same. For example, ID and offer accepted, and this is also case sensitive also. You should make sure that the case also same. Okay, then only it will accept. Okay, because in Kaggle platform they use the predefined way to compare the 2 things, right? That's why.
Yeah, so if I want to make a submission, so then I have to like format it like the sample.csv in that structure.
Yes, exactly. That's all. That is only purpose of samples.csv file. Yeah.
And how the score will be taken, like how the ranking will be determined in the backend?
Okay, so for example, we'll make it we'll make the problem simpler. There are only 100 test data set. Okay, and assume that 50 are yes, 50 are no, and you build a model which says that 80 yes and 20 no. It's a simple confusion matrix, and you can calculate F1 score, accuracy, whatever you want, right? Give prediction and actual. You can calculate everything, right? That's what calculate.
Yeah, okay, so I just have to create the sample.csv like in that format, and the F1 score will be calculated by the backend automatically.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be calculated automatically, and it will change your result accordingly in the leaderboard. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Got it.
One question: when milestone 1 happens, we will not have an output, right? Still, it will be calculated.
No, whenever you submit, you will get the output, and it will show your result also where you are in the leaderboard.
Because the first milestone is only data processing, right? So we are not creating the sample output.
Okay, that part. Swarnam, can you answer that one? It's only for data processing, milestone 1. Swarnam. I'm not sure his connection is there or not. Okay, but I will check with Swarnam. Okay, but it might not be. So because as per my knowledge, in last term, the milestone also they submitted for computation and they saw the result also. But only thing is they don't bother much about your result. Okay, so they only so for example for milestone only they check only the data processing thing, like Swarnam said. But I'll confirm with Swarnam again. That part I'm not sure about that.
And so as we can see, few like submissions are there. 2 teams submissions are there in the leaderboard. So I think we can submit
yes
before the milestone 1.
Exactly, there is nothing stopping you from submitting the data. If you only do data processing, how do you validate your data processing correct or not? Until unless you see the output, right? Then only you can check whether the data processing is correct or not. Probably you might do a lot of things, at the end of the day it add nothing to your model, then there is no point of doing that, right? So better you keep on submit that one. Whether it will be considered for evaluation or not, that's a secondary thing. Okay, that we will discuss that one.
Sir, is there any name constraint for the submission file? Like notebook, we have to give it initially. So submission file will extract the output, and then we are submitting as a CSV, right? So what should be the name?
No. I will come to that point. How to submit that? So we'll park that question alone separately, because I will show you in a demo how to submit that one. Okay. Any other question? Cool. So,
sir, hello.
Yeah, please.
Sir, regarding this data set, sir, what kind of data sets we should consider, sir?
Sir, in the Google.
What kind of data set I consider? What do you mean by that?
So, which data set we should do our this Kaggle competition, sir? Are you going to give any data set, or?
Okay.
I
so
think
that's why the train data set. The train data, it's there, right? It's available here. Train data, and test data and sample CSV file. That's what we discussed, right? So the train data, this is the one data which is available here. Okay, you can access the data directly from here also to build the model. Okay, I will tell you how to access and everything, but this is the data you are going to build model using it. Okay, and this is the data which will use your model to predict. Okay, and this is the format. How do you want to send it? Yeah.
Sir, are you going to send all these details to us, sir? How to access this data set?
Yes, right now I will show the demo. I'll show the small demo to you guys that will clear a lot of your doubts. Okay. So this is the code part.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this is the code part. Okay. Yeah.
So one thing I want to confirm that in the MLP project registration form, they are asking for Kaggle notebook submitted. So do we have to complete the first milestone before registering for MLP project? In Google, they are asking.
Okay, so the administrative data question, I'm not sure about that. Only Swaram is the right person to answer. I think he has some problem with the network, I guess. Probably once he come back online, you ask the same question to him.
What I understood was it can be an empty notebook. Just the name is important.
Yeah, it will be empty in the Google when we submit the Google form.
Yeah, mostly
I
it will be
think
empty.
the milestone is a suggestive kind of thing. It is mentioned in the document itself. We may follow or we may plan our own plan.
Okay. Any other doubt? Any other doubt related to the Kaggle? Okay, cool. So next one is the code. Yeah, code. So what you do is you can see your work. For example, if you create notebook, you can see your notebook here. If somebody shared with you, for example, two people are working. For example, you are working some code. I am also working something. If somebody shared with you, it will be visible here. But we advise you not to share with each other because it's relative grading. It might affect your others' grade also. Okay, and you can bookmark some other notebook also. For example, if you see some other code in Kaggle and you feel that it's very it will be useful for this corresponding competition, you can bookmark it and it will appear here. Okay, and these things only will appear in the competition page. Okay, so you have to come to competition page. The notebook related to the corresponding competition which will appear here. Okay, not in our general dashboard in Kaggle. Okay. So for example, you are going to create new notebook. Create a new notebook. Click this one. You guys saw that one, right? The left corner, there is something called new notebook. I click that one. It created here.
Sir, what is the plus sign in the top left, like that create?
So you guys might have used Jupyter Notebook, right? Same. Create new cell. It will create new cell.
No, sir. The blue color, like create. Yeah,
this one.
That one.
No, this is to add new data set, new competition. It's for example, if I want to create new competition, if you want to create new competition, those kind of stuff. This is related to main menu. Okay, this is related to the corresponding page. This is related to main menu. For example, you see all other thing, home
okay,
competition.
That is outside of the competition.
Exactly, not related to this corresponding competition. This is the main menu. If you go to main menu, these four things you will see.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, cool. So the moment you create notebook, this is the page which will appear. Okay, and these things will be there for all notebooks. So the default one. Okay, and most of the packages which will be installed here, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, you know how to run Jupyter Notebook. Everything is the same thing. Okay, you run this one and your session will start. So each one will have some computing power and memory which will be given by Kaggle. Okay, for example, 8 GB or 16 GB, they will give some computing power to you guys, and you can use that one and build a model. Okay, for example, if you feel that you want high computing power, probably you can build a model separately and bring it here also. It's up to you guys. But some basic computing power which is free, it's given to everyone. Okay, the moment I run this one, what this code says that print all the path where my train data, test data, and sample.csv file store. Okay, that's the question, I guess. How to access the data, right? For example, I want to access the train data. You can access the data just like how you usually do. Okay, just you get the path from the beginning. rest everything will be same. Okay, I just run that one. Okay, you see the shape of the data. This is around 12,000 records are there, 31 column, right? We already saw that one. If you want to see some top 5 rows, okay, how it looks like, what are the things are there. Okay, there are a lot of column names which are self-explanatory. Okay, for example, expiration, how long it will take to expire. Okay, income range of particular user. Have you visited how many times you visited cold drinks? So most of the column names are self-explanatory. You can use the information for feature engineering. Okay, so
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please. Somebody voice is breaking. Yeah, please. What's your question?
Sir, since should I go ahead?
Yeah, one by one. Anyone's fine.
Okay, sir. Since we have been given train data and test data separately, so it is very evident and clear that we have to train our model on the train data. So now, do we need to split data, the train data, into test data and train data? Like, is that even
Definitely,
necessary?
you need to split, right? So tested, we don't provide tested or label, right? What if you build overfitting model? How do you validate your model is not overfitting? Since if I provided the label for test data, you don't need to worry about that. But you're not going to provide label for that, right?
All right.
Makes sense, right? Okay. Yeah, somebody asked question.
Data classes, since we hadn't been taught regarding the range of the data in the week 2 lecture. So can we ask all these kind of questions in the discourse forum or in the live sessions?
Means how to clean the data, those kind of information.
Yeah, how to optimize, yeah, what's the best way?
Yeah, so not immediately. So this is the starting stage. We don't we don't want you to bias you guys saying that this is the only way. We want you to think creatively in different way to build a model and do feature engineering and cleaning process also. Okay, so you do that first. Okay, after probably we'll keep on do the live session intermediately, and for example, if some people might achieve that, some people might not achieve that, then we'll give some ideas to each and every stage. Okay, not direct answer, we give some idea. Okay, you try this way, this way, this way, this way, something like that. The idea might be useful for the further process. Okay,
yes,
but it will happen sequentially
just
only.
for the learning purpose.
Exactly. Yeah, learning purpose. Yeah, we don't give the answer. Like I said, we don't say this is the right answer, because I can't say that if you build only this way, your model is going to be give better result. Somebody from probably somebody from a different place and come and build some other way, and he might get better result than me also, right? So there is no one right or wrong answer. You might come up with some way. We might give some suggestion after some time. Okay, you can try different way of feature engineering. You can try different way of cleaning. Probably you can try for different model building process. Those kind of suggestions we'll give in the future, probably in the future section. Yeah.
One more thing, since in the
I'm not sure it's only for me or not. Your voice is breaking so much, man. I'm not sure it's only for me or it's problem with my internet or it's for everyone. But your voice is breaking so much.
Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
It's yeah, you're audible now. Yeah.
Sir, am I audible? Yeah. Sir, during the learning process, we follow a lot of articles in the internet, and if any of the article give good guidance or good help in resolving the problem, so won't that be counted as the cheating, na?
No. See, at the end of the day, that won't be counted as cheating at all. No. So that's how you should learn. So you should learn from internet. You should learn from research paper. You should learn. So you should not fix your knowledge only to the things which taught in classroom. You should expand it, right? So that's how you should expand it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Because referring to a lot of articles help a lot.
Yes. Yeah. You refer that one. That's no problem at all. The only thing which not allowed is you should not take code from your friends or other people as it is. Okay. For example, your friends also build the same model, you should not build the same thing. Okay, that's not allowed. There is no learning at all. It's literally copying, right? That's only not allowed.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yeah, sir, one question. So it's written that the checking of the plagiarism checking. So one question
Yes.
is that how they check, because suppose there is a 500 student, okay, and this is the only one project, and very limited thing is that process is the
Yeah.
same for everyone. So there is
Yeah.
a mostly chance that code will even that two person is doing independently. So number of module is the way of module they import it will be same. It is suppose it is web technology, then it is different, but it is only one page and we are doing the almost same process everyone is doing, and even the someone is taking some internet help. So mostly the 100 people will go on the same link and they will follow the same thing. Even they are not sharing the code to each other, there is a chance probability to match that mostly code. How to distinguish it?
Yeah. So the plagiarism check, it's not manual. Okay. So it is completely automated part. We wrote some set of rules and regulation. Okay. So it won't catch these kind of things. For example, assume that your friend defined some variable, you also define the same variable without even changing that one. Definitely it will be identified by the algorithm. Okay. I'm giving just example. Okay. I'm not saying this is the only way. Okay. So those are the things which are very obvious. It says that you copied. Those are the only rules which we wrote, and to copy that one. Okay, we are not doing manual comparison. Okay, so whatever you're saying, it's completely correct. At the end of the day, you're going to build at least any one of the existing machine learning model. You're not going to create something from new scratch, right? So definitely, it's possible something whatever you copy from internet also matches. Okay, those things won't be considered definitely. Okay, even if you take something from internet, don't keep the name as it is. For example, they might have a different name called some random name, cot or something like that. You don't keep the name as it is. You define the name as per your competition required, right? So those kind of things, make sure that one. Yeah.
Yes, one more question that like that we discussed with the colleagues. So so we suggested as that change the variable name, but I think that changing the variable name doesn't make the much more sense, because the more variable is the very few places,
No,
and
no,
the
I'm just giving you the one way we check. Okay, it's not that that's the only way. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Only the obvious thing, which, for example, this variable name also. Assume that I'll give the same example. The variable name, out of you define around 20 variable names. All 20 variables are matching with another one. So I can obviously deduce that it's copied, right? Out of 22, 3 or 5 variables are matching. So it's possible that you guys are using the same name from whatever you learned in the class also. It's possible. So only the obvious thing which will be caught. Okay.
Okay, so at the end, suppose that 500 students submitted the project, no,
Yeah.
and probability is that the one of the any two combination got the 95% similarity. So and even that it is certainly possible both are not the share the code. It is the random in nature. Because so many possibilities there. So out of two got the 95%. Is that both project will be caught under the plagiarism, or that they will ask that, okay, explain how it will go this. Otherwise, we think to before creating project like that.
Yeah, you can defend yourself, man. For example, at the end of the day, if two projects are matched, still you can defend saying that it's I only created, and during the Viva, based on your knowledge, they can deduce that, okay, you created yourself only. It's not that you copied something. For example, if you copied blindly something from that another person, you can't have the knowledge whatever that guy already built it, right? Only you just copied it. So based on the questions, they can figure out, okay, you copied or not. So you get a chance to defend also. So don't worry about that.
Okay, so it is not like the other project where that simply they say that without asking any question you caught in the plagiarism, it is rejected. I will get the time to explain myself.
Exactly. You can defend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Clear, sir. Thanks.
And one more thing, is it possible to make like very clear to all of us, like what would be the steps involved into plagiarism check? Because sometimes, like your side will be knowing something else and we'll be knowing something else, so there is no bridge understanding about the plagiarism, right? Because the project is same for everybody. So is it possible to, like you create the constraint, like these are the parameters, these are the things which we'll be considering?
Yeah. We can. I'll discuss with probably others and come to you guys. But there is a small catch here. What if we tell all the possibilities? There are some people which might think creatively and bypass it also. So we don't want that to happen. For example, I assume that I'm saying we are following these 4 rules. People might copy, make sure that they don't get caught in the 4 rules, right? So that's why we don't want to reveal those things. But still, I speak to others also. Is it okay to inform how we are checking the plagiarism? Then if they are okay with that, probably we'll schedule session and show it to you guys how the code works.
Or we can create different cohort for different project rather than just making single project for everyone, like we have in MAD 2 or MAD 1.
Different code for different
cohort, not code.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that also I need to discuss, man. I can't take the decision right now. Yeah.
So what is the cutoff score for registering for Viva?
Okay, I will get back to that one. Still, we didn't decide that part. Okay, probably we need to run some base model and check that one. We haven't done that part. So once we run some base model and check what's the score, then probably we'll get back to you guys regarding that one.
So as soon as possible, because I am registered in the degree level courses and we barely have any time to do this. So as early as possible will be better, or if you can extend the deadline for the degree people, because we hardly
No,
have
the cutoff score will come in 1 or 2 days, man.
Okay, perfect.
Don't worry
Thank
about
you.
it. It's not going to take much time. It will reveal it in probably by this weekend or probably by Monday. Yeah. Okay.
And one more thing.
Yes.
After doing this project, what is the expectation of you people from us? Like what exactly, like what level to achieve? Because it is not defined, right?
What level to achieve? So it's 2 things. One is it's a you'll get a real life exposure how to build a model. Whatever you learned in the classroom settings, you can apply everything here. And second thing is it's a competition also. Okay, so it's not that you finish something. You can keep on improve yourself. You can keep on learn from in different sources, and you can keep on improve yourself. Okay, so that's the main objective. You should not only stick to the book, whatever taught in classroom and IIT. You should explore in different angle and build a different way of modeling. Okay, incorporate here. Okay, you should showcase that one. That's the main objective here.
It's a practical implementation.
Exactly. Yeah. So everything will be tested in Viva. Okay. So if you come up with something very creatively, and you will definitely be validated further. Okay. Cool. Anything, guys? Go next one. Okay. So, okay. Now I think, yeah. Please.
Sorry, I don't want to intervene because this was for the next batch, but previous batch, right? We submitted our project on September 11. So
okay.
We got any update after that? Like
you didn't get
when
the
is the
result yet?
Yeah, the September 11 was the last date, right?
No, you got the result or not? Whether you cleared the cutoff or not?
No, I don't know where to check also.
No, there is. So we already evaluated everything. The Viva part, I'm not sure about that. We already evaluated everything and we sent the result. Swarnam, you are on call?
September 11 submissions, right?
Yes,
After
I know. So that's why I'm saying around 150 people submitted.
For September 4,
yeah.
But that is not right. So
you got a mail saying that you cleared the cutoff and you're ready for Viva. Anything like that?
Nothing, sir. None in the site, not on the mails. Nothing is.
No one got the mail, or only you didn't get the mail?
Nobody got it.
Oh, okay. I'll check with Swarnam. But it's everything is evaluated.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
so
what's
as per
going.
guidelines, we cleared that cutoff score of 75 while submission and everything. That was clear. Okay. That was clear because submission that it shows 76 point something, right? Above that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was there, but after that, right? We filled the form and shared the Google, collab, Kaggle notebook and everything. But after that, there's no update, right? There's no link or nowhere. Everybody's waiting. Others are whoever submitted on September 11. All are waiting, like, oh, there's any update or anything.
Okay. Yeah. I probably speak to Sarnam about that. I'm not sure about that. The only score part only I know that part is evaluated, and remaining part I'm not sure about that. Probably will speak to him.
Yes, sir. Can you please share the link if it is evaluated, whether it is we passed and why we can apply for waiver or anything like.
There is no link. I just build an Excel file with all of your username and a notebook, and I check my side and what is his corresponding score, and I share the Excel file with them. Yeah, there is no link or anything from that, and they do other check, and they probably send a mail through admin. That's the process, I believe.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, okay, I am just talking about the submissions we made on September 11, last date, right?
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
So just like
Excuse me, sir.
same question on the last term. So I cleared the cutoff score after the deadline. So will it be considered, or do I have to repeat this new project this term?
After the deadline, we didn't evaluate actually. So the final day we evaluated September 11 only.
Right.
After that, we didn't evaluate any notebook. Will it be considered or not? I am not sure about that, because I can't make decision. I need to speak to other people. Whether
Okay,
we
because
can
I
evaluate
dropped the mail also. They said like only in this meeting they can answer that.
Okay, so only Swarnam can answer that. He facing some network issue, I guess. Probably you guys send a mail to him. Okay, I will also follow up with him also personally.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir, can we go with the flow kind of, right? It's kind of breaking in between. And then because
Yeah.
so we are,
Yeah,
it's lot of
probably yes.
this thing can take
Yes.
questions at last. Now the flow is getting interrupted. Like
Yes.
where you're stopping
I
and again where you're starting.
completely.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you guys.
Yeah, where you're stopped and where you're starting, it is not there. So can you just go with the flow and take the questions later?
Yeah, makes sense. I completely agree with you. Yeah, guys, it will be better for everyone.
Everything is breaking. Yeah. Suddenly you're
Yeah, but
stopping and starting again. Yeah.
Yeah. We are switching one topic to another topic also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See, now
probably
you're in CSV, you're reading and suddenly you're switching and then again coming back. The flow is getting broken. Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. So okay, guys, we'll take the question at the end. Okay. Probably I'll spend more time in all the other question also, but let me complete this notebook in that way. This one thing will be completed. This is more important for next batch, right? Okay. So you guys know how to open a notebook. Okay, once you open a notebook, this is the basic template which will be available in all the notebooks. Okay, the moment you run this one, this is a 3 path. You can see this one. Okay, the 3 path belongs to test data, train data, and the sample CSV file. I already explained to you what are they, right? And you are going to build model using train data. For example, train data, I took the you know how to read CSV and everything. You know the basic programming, right? The pd.read CSV, I read the data, and these are the basic things: shape, head. There are a lot of different type of data. For example, if you see, some of them are less than 1, 1, 2, 3, and some of them are string, and some of them are some of the integer. There are different type of data. There are some range. Okay, so you have to think very creatively for different type of pre-processing. Okay, and I'm just, this is the D type, you know, right? To get the all the type of the column, and I'm storing all the column type in particular data frame. Now why I'm doing is, I don't want to do the pre-processing for each and every column. So to make my life easier, I'm going to take only the integer column as a input column, build a model using that one. Okay, these are the column I'm going to consider. These are the column I'm going to consider to build a model. Okay. Now X train and Y train, right? So you
are the data are in pandas data frame?
Yes, it's a panda. That's I use pd.read CSV, right? It's a panda data frame. Right?
Okay,
if I use pd.read CSV, it will be pandas only. Okay, then I'll take this one. This is X train, and my Y train is you know, my Y is, which is offer accepted or not, right? Which is, this is the one. offer accepted or not. This is the column name.
Oh, so here you're taking only int columns.
Yeah, to make my life easier. Yeah, so I don't want to sit in pre-process each and every column, because each and every column require different type of pre-processing. Okay, so that's not the purpose in this session. We probably will cover it next session. This session is to how to use a notebook and how to submit your output. That's the main objective here.
Okay. But actually we will be using everything, right?
Yes, yeah, that's more important. Yeah, guys, you have to use all the column. Okay,
Yeah.
you might see the result also because of I'm using only in column also. It'll be very bad. Okay. Okay, so now I build X train. It contain only all the integer column, and Y train, it contain only yes or no. Okay, then you probably I'll build a model. Okay, I build an ensemble model. Okay. I'm not doing any hyperparameter tuning everything. So you guys, but you should do that one. Okay, I'm just because this is not the purpose of that session. I'm just building a base model. Okay. So I give my X train and my Y train. I fit the model. I then test data. Okay, then the path, you know where to take from path, right? The same path. You take the path. Okay. So you got the path. Okay. Now next step is use the model. Sorry, before that I didn't take all the columns, right? So you should also in text also should be revealed that one. Next test data, selected columns. So I'm going little fast, meaning that you guys well aware about the coding and everything, right? So if you're not sure, please stop me right there and ask me why I'm doing this one. Okay, clf dot predict test prediction. Okay, so if you see the prediction, so you see that one prediction yes or no everything, right? I did some basic model building and prediction. Okay. Next is the important step. Okay, these are the things. This is very base version, but you have to do lot better in each and every step. Okay, from the data cleaning to the feature engineering, even the model building, right? So everything is a very base model, hyperparameter tuning, everything. You should do lot to get the better result. Okay. So next is I am creating a data frame, columns of two. Okay, one is ID. If you remember that this is how the value should be, ID, and the next one is the same column as the offer accepted, right? Offer accepted. So now submission. So if you remember the first column is ID column, it just only give the ID, right? Length of prediction. Okay, perfect. And next column, my output, which is offer accepted. I put my output here. Any doubt in this one? So if you see the output, this is the format we want, right? So ID and offer accepted, right? I build the format right now. Now I have to save this variable, okay, to CSV. Dot CSV. probably in, okay, I don't know the index. Okay, I save this one. Okay. Okay. Any doubt till now? Okay, perfect. Now, next step, this is the most important step, how to submit your notebook for competition. Okay, so you go here, okay, the left to one, show version, save version. You can see that one, the left side, the save version, right? Click this one, okay. Go to advanced setting. You have to select something called save output for this version and save it. Okay. Any doubt in this one? I'll redo it again. This is the most important step. You have to do it. Save version. Go to advanced setting. Save output for this version. Okay. What is the meaning of this? You want output to be saved in the Kaggle platform. Okay. You want to save output for this version. You save it and save and run all commit. You select this one. Save. Okay. Then your notebook will run now. Okay. So right now it's running. Just now. Wait for your notebook to finish. Okay, wait for notebook to finish. It will say it will be finished running just now. Okay, any doubt till now? That's the notebook run. Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Hi sir, myself Vipul. So I was asking, like, if we have created a new version of the book, then previous one will be lost, or we have access to that too?
No, previous version will be there. All the versions will be there. So there are two things. One is you can create a new notebook by changing the name. Okay, it will be there. Another one is you modify the same notebook. Okay, for example, I take the same notebook and modifying it. That time your previous version will be lost. Okay, you understand the difference, right? If you create new notebook, that different. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, once so it came successful. Okay, everything I ran as I expected. Then there are 3 dot point, right? Click this one. Sorry. 3 data point. Yeah, click this one. There is a at last submit to competition. Okay, if the 3 dot point, submit to competition. So it says the version 1 and your CSV file and submission.csv, submit. Okay.
Can you please go back? How did you come to this window? Submit to the commit.
Okay. Okay, I will do one more time. I click this one, save. Sorry. The next, there is some nearby save version. There is one, right? Click that one. I'll do one more time. Okay. Oh shit! I came out of this.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
The submission file name is fixed. Is it the submission.csv?
Submission.csv file. No, you can give different name also, but you have to change the name accordingly. Okay, for example, there are a lot of names with that one. I'll show the option. Okay. Okay. Submit to competition. When I click this one, so for example, the option will come. Okay, if there are multiple names, click this one. The option will be there. There are multiple version also. If you click this one, you can see the one. Okay, and notebook also you can select what notebook you want to submit. Okay, then you submit.
Okay, got it.
Okay, you submitted. Now you can view your submission. View my submission. Okay, it will show what is the score here. Okay, 0.56908. See, that's why it's somewhat better than random classifier. Okay, because 0.5, it's a 2-class classifier program, only 0.5 we achieved. The reason is we didn't consider many columns, right? Then you can go to leaderboard position and you can see that also, and you can see the leaderboard position where you are standing. Okay, and right now only 3 people are submitted, and they can see, okay, what is the rank also, corresponding rank also. Okay,
so
what is the
unless I submit, it will not come, right? So if I create a private notebook and I just trying out, I can do that and then copy to the actual one and submit, right?
Exactly, you can do that, but you have to use submit through competition. You should not upload a CSV file. There is an option called uploading CSV file also, but you should not use it. Okay. We can track of it. Okay, for example, in our side, we can see all the things, how submission happened. If I click this one, whether it came through CSV or everything, we can track of it. So we can simply reject that one. Okay, so you should not upload that CSV file.
But the score will not come unless I submit, right?
Yes, the score will not come unless submit. What I'm saying is there are 2 options. One is you can submit through computation like how I did. Another one is there is an option to upload CSV file. For example, you build a model separately, you build CSV file separately, you don't bring the code here, you just only bring the CSV file here and upload it. I'm saying don't do the second part. Only bring the code here and run everything again and submit it. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, that I understood. But my question is something which I'm trying privately, but I want to see the score, but I don't want to actually submit. Is that possible?
That's not possible. That's not possible. That's not possible. Okay. Okay. Cool. So that's a code part, and discussion is, for example, you guys can ask some questions and related to data, something like that, not the answer, and everybody can chat also. Even we can see and we can also answer something. Okay. The leaderboard, like I showed, it will show where you're standing. Okay. And another thing, there are two data set. Okay. One is a private and public data set. Okay. So for example, the test data set, right? The test data, some portion will go to the public data set, which you guys can see the result. Some data set you can't see, but it will keep on evaluate, but you can see the result at the end. Okay, what is the score for that one? Okay. And the rules which we discussed already, you should submit through CSV only, and the team name and everything, it's a common thing only. Okay. Any doubt there?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, so you just created a notebook, no, sir. That's going to be the submission, no, sir. So in the Google form, which they asked us for a notebook name, if you give if that notebook name is it's okay, no, sir. That's what they're asking, no, sir. Oh, okay, sir.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, yeah. So right now I did a stupid job of I didn't change the notebook name. For example, the first time when I do that one, if you see my notebook name, it is the automatic, it's a random number name. Okay, I can allow to change the notebook name. For example, if I go that one, edit this one, okay, I can change it. For example, I change it, this is my first submission, something like that. I can change whatever I want. You should change the name and give the notebook name. Don't give the random number again. You got it, right?
Sir, one more small question, sir. Sir, whenever I created a sample notebook, sir, to like upload it so that I can fill the Google form. But since like I don't have an output file, it's not like accepting the submission, sir. So like, should I just create a dummy output file just so I can submit the name in the Google form?
Hello, am I audible?
Sorry, I don't get your question. Can you come again?
Okay, sir. So like, you told us to submit the notebook into the competition, no, sir?
Yes, yeah.
When I trying to do that, the notebook I created is just a fresh one. I'm not able to submit, sir, because there is no output CSV file.
Okay. No. So you should only submit the notebook. So there are two things. One is you give the notebook name in the form, whatever is shared with you guys. This is a separate thing. Don't confuse the both. Okay. So you can create later model also. You can submit later also. That's fine. Okay. Only just give the notebook name alone.
No, the question I think is without creating that submission.csv, it is not accepting the submission, right? That's the question, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question.
So that means that if I have to submit, I should create a submission.csv as a code.
Yes, definitely. Then how it is possible, right? So if you want to submit through competition, you have to store the result somewhere, right?
No, but see, the first milestone is only for data cleaning. So I mean, I have not reached that step. But since I have to submit, I still have to create a dummy CSV for it to get submitted.
Hello.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Hello.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think I can answer that question. See, those milestones are suggested. It's not like that you do only that thing at that particular time. Building a model using sklearn is very, very simple and very, very easy. For example, if you want to, as your question is, without making a submission, you cannot submit the Kaggle notebook or share it with us. So best way to make sure that your notebook is shared properly is to create a baseline model using a dummy classifier. There is a class for that. So make a submission from there. Do not worry about your score on the leaderboard for that particular submission. But if you make that submission using dummy classifier, you will successfully make a submission of predictions and your notebook will be clearly shared with us. There will be no issue like that.
Okay, sir. So
Okay.
after I do a dummy classifier, I can then use that name in the Google form and submit it.
Exactly. Sure.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So one question that there are a lot of Google forms we have to submit. Can you tell the roadmap which form have which with which deadline?
Okay, maybe I can take that. So there are not many Google Forms. You have to submit only 2 Google Forms, and there's one for Milestones. So in total 3. So first is for your project registration. As of now, its deadline is 30th September. If you want to participate in ML Practices project in September term, you have to fill that form. Okay, that is one form. The second form that you will be filling is for applying for Viva. So once the cutoff score is shared with you, make sure that your model, you create a model, you write code, you experiment with data set, and create a score better than the cutoff score. Once you do that on the leaderboard, and you are confident that this is the time you're ready for taking the Viva, you have to fill that form. And it is, I think it is, that form will be accessible to you. As of now, it is accessible to you, but you're supposed to fill that form after every evaluation cycle. So in the guidelines document, there is mentioned that every 20 of the month, uh, there will be one evaluation cycle. That means all the notebooks that you have shared with us, we'll evaluate them, make sure that the score that you have produced on the Kaggle leaderboard is actually matching with the output that we get by rerunning your model. If both of them are matching and you have crossed the cutoff score, you will be eligible for applying for Viva. So you once that is out, the results are out, you're supposed to fill the form for applying for Viva in the next month, coming month. Okay, that is the second form. And the third form is for keeping track of your milestones. So there are no marks associated with milestones. They are suggestive of making progress. Make sure that by those milestones, of course, they are not completely individual. That first milestone, you only do data pre-processing, but how effective it was, you have to couple it with a model, right? You train a model after data pre-processing, see the results, how it is working, right? So do not think the milestones as if they are isolated items. Of course, training, building the model, training the model, debugging the model, all of these do come in picture.
Okay, sir. And where is the first link? Where we have to submit the notebook name and all?
That's the project registration link.
Project registration. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I have one more question, sir.
Sure.
Sir, the notebook which I have to submit, sir. Do we have to add the admin to it from the beginning? Do we have to share it to the
Yes,
admin
of
from the
course,
beginning itself?
absolutely. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, got it. Thanks.
I'll tell you the reason for it. Last time, there were some students who shared the notebook, but they were shared incorrectly and they missed the evaluation cycle. So they had to wait for 1 month before we could reevaluate their work and allow them to participate in Viva. So this time we want to avoid that. Right from the beginning, we want to make sure that your notebooks are shared with us properly. So during the project or during the evaluation cycle, there are no problems or issues related with that.
Sir, somewhere you told that the name should not change.
Yes, the name of the notebook that you have shared with us. Because we have an automated system by which we are going to reevaluate your work. So if you give us one name and change it later, our system will not be able to find it.
But the same name can have different versions, right?
Of course, as many versions as you need.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, I have already filled the
Google form for registration. Just wanted to get a confirmation mail from your side that it has been registered.
Right. So that will happen once the deadline for registration is over.
Okay, okay. So why I'm asking is this, because sometimes what happens, like we submit the form, maybe it has not reached you or something has happened. So that's why. See, after 30th September, for any reason, if somebody has not been able to register or the registration, he has from their side, they have tried the registration, but it has not reached the RTM like requirements. So then what will happen?
Right. So Vipul, let's say you tried it and somehow there was some typo, and because of
Yeah.
that, your registration is not 100% successful. So you'll be informed and will be allowed to make corrections.
Okay, okay. Yeah, this is the reason I was asking. Thank you.
Yeah. Just make sure that before 30th September or before the deadline, uh, you actually make one entry in that form.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks.
Okay.
And sir, what is the sharing with admin?
Okay. So what is sharing of Kaggle notebook? Is it? That is the question.
Yes, yes, there is an option called sharing with admin. So how can I share
Right,
that?
right. By the way, it's not an option, it's a mandatory step, Rakesh. You have to, uh, so, at the end of the project, you will create a notebook which is the best version of your all the work that you have done, all the experimentations that you have done. We are going to evaluate it since it's an academic project, and to reevaluate it, we should have access to your work, and that is why we are asking you to share your Kaggle notebook at the beginning of the competition. So in order to share how to share your notebook with the Kaggle competition admin, who is Balaji, by the way, you can read the guidelines document. There are detailed steps written on it, how to do that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, can I go ahead? Sir,
Yes.
can I go? Yeah. So what should be the preparation for this project? Because we have taken MLT courses, and then this is a first time exposure to a real data set, a project building. So it's kind of intimidating at first when you see all these things and the rules and these things. It's quite of intimidating. So how should we be prepared for approaching this thing? Like it will be very this thing, or can go with the flow. Whatever sir is teaching, if we are able to apply that, and then we can do some more extra research, as you said, experiment. But the base, whatever sir is teaching, will that be enough to start our basic this thing?
Absolutely, Uma. Yes. So if you go through Sir's taught content, that will be a very, very good. That will create a very good base for you to work on this project. And of course, there are a few steps for you. You have to think on your own. That's the entire purpose of this competition. That it's not an assignment; it's a data set, which is what you're supposed to work on in real world projects and real world scenarios. So, what do you think of it? What kind of patterns you are seeing in it? How you apply a model and you observe some insight. Based on those insight, how do you change your model, feature engineering, data pre-processing? So this is more hands-on and involved version of your work. But yeah, going through such video and content, that will give you a very, very good base for working on the project.
Okay, sir, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
So can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So I completed MLP in my last semester, and and registered for the project as well in the last semester, but didn't make any submission at that time. So this time I have to register again, right? And the whole thing I have to do the entire thing I have to do again.
Correct.
So
That
how
is
will?
correct.
Okay, sir. So and I have to pay the fees because I didn't pay any fees. That also I have to do again this time, right?
That means you will be paying the fees for project for the first time, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you will have to do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to do the project this time, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to manage my time to do it to the best of my ability. So I
Okay.
was wondering if I could back out of it if I'm not happy with the score, but it has cleared the cutoff score after 30th of September, like after the deadline for the form.
Yeah, for any personal reasons, you can drop the project, but that means you will have to in the next term. Then you have to participate in another project. Sorry,
Yeah.
in an entirely new project with new data set, with new uh, cutoff score, and so on and so forth.
Okay, and do I also have to pay the fees again for the project, or?
Results for 11th September are due within a couple of days, so I think you should wait till then.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. After.
and yeah, so that should give you within a couple of days you'll get the results, and if you do not cross it, since it's absolutely automated system, so if it doesn't cross it, you can register for next term, or if it crosses, then you can participate.
Okay, all right, all right. So the Viva also I can register after this, is it?
Yes, Viva you can also register once the results are out.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So can
Yes.
we import export this thing and work on our local machine like Spider? I use Spider this thing. So can we do like that, or we should work only on Kaggle platform, everything, right? Coding everything.
See, Kaggle platform has some. Okay, so let me begin by saying yes, of course, you can do entire work on your local machine and submit your code in Kaggle. You know, whenever you are ready, you can just copy paste your code into your Kaggle notebook, and that's it. You can of course follow that pattern. However, I would suggest that get yourself familiar with Kaggle platform because it offers some good hardware accelerators, meaning it offers powerful GPUs to speed up your work. So even if you're training, let's say you're hyperparameter tuning some model, and it can take let's say 5 to 10 minutes or even hours on your local machine. On the contrary, on Kaggle platform, it will run. So I have seen this example that my notebook was running for 5 minutes on my local computer, but within 10 seconds, it executed in Kaggle.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine. Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
So Kaggle has some advantages if you want to make use of them.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
All right. Any further questions?
Sir, once again on the name side, should the notebook should have the same name for each submission, or each can have different names?
The notebook from which you are making, okay, good point. So you're supposed to make submissions from that notebook you shared with us. So you can make multiple submissions from that one notebook.
Can I use different names also?
Names for what? Submission.csv file.
For example, I have made a notebook, and just before for submission, before the deadline. If I make a submission with some name, next submission also in the Google form, should I use the same name, or I can create another notebook, and for the next submissions I can use a different name?
Good question. Good question. So you're supposed to use one name only throughout the competition. So whatever name you have submitted in the registration form, that is the one you should use when submitting for any other form or providing any information to us. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So basically, one notebook I should be concentrating on throughout this competition.
No, I wouldn't put it like this. I would say your pair work, your final, your best model at any point of time should definitely be there in the notebook that you've shared. You can have 5, 10, 20, or even more number of notebooks for your experimentation purposes.
Okay. But I should for the submission purpose, I should use the same notebook.
Yes, definitely.
I can copy and paste from the other notebooks and put it here and then submit it.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Hello, sir. I have registered in May and I done project in last days, but I cannot find a submit to competition option in my code. So I have only directly submit my CSV file. Can you guide me where can I find that option?
So you're saying that in midterm projects, you only use submission.csv files, but not share the code or submit it from the code, is it?
I have shared the code, but I haven't submit my output through notebook. I have direct submission, submit the CSV file.
Okay.
Because
yeah, go ahead.
Because I didn't get any option, sir, in my Kaggle account to submit to the competition.
Okay, so that's a little odd. There might be some error on your page. Maybe you try to refresh the page.
Sir, I have
Because
done everything. I have log out, log in, and done everything, but I didn't get the submit to the code, submit to the
submit to
project,
the
submit to the competition option.
see, submit to the competition. So in the competition, you submit your submission.csv file, right?
Yeah, direct CSV file.
But you could have run the Kaggle notebook and then submit it to the competition, correct?
I can run my output is produced, but as I can see that there is an option to submit to the competition. When you go to the output section, there is the option to submit to the competition, but I didn't get that option in my. So will there be a problem because I submit the direct CSV file?
Yes,
Clear the
there will be a
code.
problem. Then how would be actually every student's notebook is reevaluated. We execute it again and match the output that you have submitted and the match with the output that your notebook is producing when we run it.
Sir,
Since we don't have your notebook, it's not possible for us to
Sir,
match.
I have shared the notebook. I have shared the notebook with the
Kaggle admin, is it?
Yes, sir. I've shared the notebook.
Okay, Saurabh, yours is a special case. I think you should write to support team for this.
Sir, I have sent a mail to on 11th, but I didn't get any response.
See, if you're so I can tell you this is the submission.cc file that you submitted and the output your notebook produces. If they are matching, then you don't have.
They're matched. They're matched. They are saying.
Yeah, then it's all right. Okay. Any further questions?
Sir, while sharing to admin, I mean, when I search admin, multiple admins are coming. How should I do that?
You want to know how to share a notebook with admin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think the instructions are written in detail in the project's guideline documents. Please read it once, and even after that, you have any questions, let me know.
When I went through that, in the search, when I typed as admin for users, there are multiple admins appearing. That's why.
Share with Balaji Aero. The name and the user ID of Balaji is present over there, so you can just use that. And no other admin, just that one. Okay. Next question.
Sir, when we can expect the mail regarding the Viva for 11 was completed before 11.
Okay, so it is going on in batches. Somebody also asked the question and said that nobody received any response for Viva. Actually, that is not correct. More than 30 students have already taken Viva in past 3 to 4 days. And if you're waiting for it, just wait for a couple more days and all the results will be out. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, so I was actually asking about dropping the course, and I think I got disconnected.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so if I drop the course this term, close to the deadline, and I want to do it again in the next term, do I have to pay the fees again, or do I just get to participate again?
I think you have to pay the fees before the Viva. That is my understanding. However, the best and confirmed answer will be from the support team. I would suggest that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And is there a deadline for dropping out of the course, or can we do it anytime before the final submission date?
I think as of now there is no deadline for you to do so. Yeah, you can for any important personal reason. I think you can drop at any point of time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Next question.
Sir, I have done my MLP project also in the midterm and waiting for the results. I submitted on the 11th. Though in the leaderboard, ranking is showing, but I haven't received any mail.
Yeah.
But sir, I am since I have done all my work during the term break, so I'm not that much satisfied. So is it possible for me to work parallelly in this term project because I have registered for the grade improvement in the MLP?
Okay. Okay. Let me talk to my team and come back to you on this query.
Okay. So sir, how I will get to know?
I think you should write an email to the support team. That way, that will be guaranteed way to receive an answer.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next question. Priya, are you saying something? Okay, okay. So I think there are no further questions. Thanks for joining in. Sorry for the multiple network disruptions. For any further questions you might have later, you can write to us or post, your questions in Discourse forum. Okay.
Sir, if we
Yes.
write our queries to the support team and keep you in the CC, will that be fine?
Absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Balaji. That was a great demonstration of Kaggle. All right. Have a good night. Bye bye, everyone. All the best for your project.